Hey guys, Jordan here. In this video, we're going to be talking about Adobe DNG Converter. So let's get into it. All right, so if you're interested in the topic of real estate photography, make sure to subscribe as I put out consistent videos on the topic of real estate photography. Today's video is from another video, a comment from a video that I made about our secret weapon and how I talk about Adobe DNG Converter. And if you haven't seen that, the link is in the description below. But Costa Mesa Photography said, when I'm assuming he meant to say import photos into Lightroom, I automatically convert DNG at the time. Been doing it for years. The DNG converter is handy if you don't have Lightroom. The other advantage to DNG is that all the edit information from Lightroom is incorporated into the same DNG file and doesn't use a sidecar file if you prefer to work with the native raw files. DNG is the Adobe open source raw file standard. So if you use Adobe projects, it's a no-brainer. And if you don't, most other professional software packages accept DNG files in their workflow. There are some exceptions where they don't use DNG files. But yeah, you can import and convert to DNG files at the time of importing to Lightroom. The beauty about Adobe DNG Converter isn't necessarily just converting it to DNG, right? The magic of Adobe DNG Converter is that you can compress your files. The way you explain it is like, if I'm a photographer, I go out and shoot, and then I'm going to import them into Lightroom because I'm going to edit them. The thing that Adobe DNG Converter does really well is that if I'm not the editor, right? If I'm a photographer and I use a remote editor, or I have somebody else edit, I can take those raw images. I can just use a standalone free little program. I don't have to pay for Lightroom or anything like that. I can shrink the files down while retaining all the highlight, native white balance. I can retain all the detail in the shadows and bring that photo from 50 megabits to 500 kilobytes, which is a fraction of that size. Obviously, you're going to be shrinking pixels, but that's going to make the workflow a lot, you want to shrink it down to something that's more of the deliverable, because I don't think most real estate photographers are delivering 50 megapixel images. I don't recommend that because it's not going to be a very good experience on the customer side of things. The files are going to be big. They're going to have trouble uploading, and then at the end of the day, MLS is going to shrink those photos anyway. So deliver small, whatever that number is, 6 megapixels, 3 megapixels, 1 megapixel. It just depends on what you can, but you can take those raw images, shrink them down, and then move them where you need to move them. Having a size, uploading 3 gigabytes worth of photos after shooting a property is a lot different than uploading 100 megabits worth of photos. That's the beauty of Adobe DNG Converter. It opens a whole new world. You can share these files. You can upload them. You can use, Hotspot to upload them even faster if you have a remote editor, obviously. And, if you have a slower computer and you do your own editing, it does make sense as well to shrink those down, because your computer is not having to process so many pixels, and you're going to be able to go through the editing process much more efficiently. Now, if I'm importing into Lightroom and I'm converting import as DNG, I'm not sure if they might just convert it as the same size. I don't know if they have the options. I haven't used it too much, but I don't think they have options to shrink down the sizing, the pixels of that. Maybe I'm wrong. If I am wrong, leave a comment below and tell me that I'm wrong, because I'm curious. So anyways, that's it. I just wanted to kind of clarify a bit of use case for Adobe DNG Converter, why you should use it, how this can help your business. More importantly, if you're not the editor on these, which is very common these days with outsourcing photography, editing, and all that. So anyways, if you got value out of this video, make sure to hit the like button, and we'll see you guys on the next one.